It is now my pleasure to introduce Paul Presendieu, who is the current National Environmental Caucus Chair for the College Democrats of America. Yay, go College Dems, where he assists the organization with environmental programming for the 600 plus chapters throughout the nation. There's a lot of strength, a lot of power, a lot of votes there. And Paul is doing an amazing job leading. Paul also currently works as the outreach coordinator of Sustainable Westchester, a nonprofit consortium of 44 local governments in Westchester County to support programming in environmental protection and accessibility to renewable energy. Paul has completed Vice President Al Gore's climate reality training, which is awesome. I did that too, and is an active member for the United Nations Association and Green Latinos. I'm so lucky to get to work with Paul on so many projects. Thanks for being here, Paul. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Michelle, Madam Chair. It's really great working with you, and it honestly has been surreal because you giving not only college Democrats, but high school Democrats and young Democrats in general a seat at the table of your environmental discussions really is invaluable and shows that we really can come together for solutions that work for all generations in society. As you said before, my name is Paul Presendieu. I'm coming in from the Muncie Lenape region, which is now modern-day New Rochelle, New York. And I am the current chair of the Environmental Caucus for the College Democrats of America. We organize college students to address what we view as now one of the most vital issues, climate change and our climate crisis. We do this in multiple ways. We help students with organizing on campus, helping create environmental clubs to help support students that are pursuing an environmental discipline with extracurricular activities. We also help provide students with resources to create sustainable committees for colleges, communities at large, to bring campus administrators, faculty, professors, and students together to find common themed solutions and establish multi-year sustainability plans. And we also provide resources for students to make the early leap to become community leaders as opposed to student leaders, which means going to village or city hall to help create a conservation advisory committee, an energy advisory committee, and making sure that students have a voice with local government leaders that can help hopefully create a movement to the higher branches. And as Michelle and Kana has said, we can't do that without ending the corporate handouts that are currently happening. We can't authentic with our transition towards renewables, reduction of our carbon emissions, and our ability to work with the international community on these climate-related issues unless we really put an economic power behind our commitment in environmental stewardship. Michigan has been in the news lately, unfortunately, for climate-related issues, and we know that for younger generations, in my generation, these extremities of the weather patterns are going to become the norm unless we unless we steer the ship back into the right direction. We can no longer allow corporations to profit off of our future by continuing to exacerbate the stability of our natural resources, the stability of our weather patterns, and we need to really address through an intergenerational approach a way that we could really mitigate our climate-related issues through the lens of justice, because we need to make sure that we're bringing everyone to the table and really tapping into the heterogeneous diversity that is America, because that's how we could bring strength, so that people in Alaska could help us in New York, and then people in Florida can help people in Oklahoma, and really putting together that fabric that is the Democratic Party and the environmental leadership within it. You guys may know this already, because that's why we're on the Zoom. That's why we're talking about here. We are facing an unprecedented health and economic crisis through the corporate handouts that the fossil fuel industry is receiving. This is really driving an expansion of fossil fuels development in the United States, and if left unchecked, the United States of America will be on track to be responsible for 60% of the global growth in oil and gas production over the next 10 years. And that really is completely disingenuous towards the climate emergency that they're currently in, and the potential that we have to really completely be independent from fossil fuels and be on a commitment towards generating carbon-free and clean energy. This is why we're really taking the charge. I've been working very closely with Michelle, my colleagues, and the young Democrats, high school Democrats, to realize how can we organize college students and students in general to make sure our voices are heard. How can we engage local municipal environmental leaders and environmental advisors to engage with high school students, so that municipal conservation and environmental committees could create a subcommittee to allow students to be on there to have their voices be made. same thing could be happening on the county level, a college level, because colleges are part of the the communities of the municipalities. You actually have some colleges that have more students on the college that that are in the town there, which is why you might find some areas where you have a village trustee or a town trustee that's 19 years old, because college students know how to organize when it comes to things that they're very passionate about. And we're really just happy to really have a voice and opportunity to talk with Michelle, members of Congress, our colleagues, and young Democrats and high school Democrats, I said before. And if any of you are a college student that are looking to get more involved with College Democrats of America, feel free to email me at collegedems.environment@gmail.com. I'll immediately connect you to your state federation president, and we will get to work to helping, share resources with you for environmental leadership, and also to make sure that you're able to get the word out to members of your student body, because we had to have a sense of urgency and we had to act now, because we didn't start acting yesterday. So thank you, Michelle.
Thank you so much, Paul. You actually answered the first of our two questions already, because like a good organizer and leader, you made a pitch for people to join in and into your work. We did have a question I thought you might be interested in answering. Ellen in Utah asked, she says, I represent a community coalition advocating for less asphalt, more transportation and transit alternatives. And do you have any ideas or hopes about what a green future might look like, especially in terms of transportation?
Well, in terms of transportation, we have to be at completely net zero mode of transportation. We have the infrastructure for electric vehicles. There is a little bit of an economic barrier that we had to overcome by allowing, average residents or LMI, low to moderate income community residents, to be able to access technology. But I believe that municipalities could jump on the window, can really jump into the leadership of that by allowing like common modes of transportation, such as bus systems. You could look at it, see if there's shuttle programs that can be done. And there are lots of organizations that are out there that can really help and facilitate that type of transportation. I don't know if you could email me. I'll be happy to keep the conversation going, because I've been doing a lot of research about this independently. I actually went above and beyond and been seeing about there's municipalities that are bringing in electric vehicle garbage trucks for the Department of Public Works. So there's ways that municipalities can really allow these fundamental operations, such as like law enforcement, public safety. I don't know about fire trucks, but the essential services for municipalities can really facilitate modes of transportation. And I think that really is there at the foundation, because it has to be, as we said before, an economic lens. It has to go through the lens of economic prosperity. Some municipalities may have some economic barriers that prevents them from being able to make these transitions for this green economy. So it's really going to take a little bit of extra research to identify organizations and create the holistic private-public partnerships to really put these things into play.
Thank you so much, Paul. That was an amazing answer. And I love your focus on, the public transit side, shuttles, all the range of means of transportation that we absolutely need to focus on. Yeah, I don't know about fire trucks, but we got to get there. So I look forward to continuing to work with you. I know we'll be in touch very soon. And thank you for your absolutely invaluable leadership.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, everyone. Keep up your great work, all of you on social media. I see these different addresses, different states. We're all in this together.